for Libra as well for 2026. Again, Happy New Year to you all, and hopefully you all had a pretty good Christmas and everything else going forward. How I do my readings is, I just sort of do it en route, don't go through a lot of the production for the setup, just simply because I just don't have a lot of time. So hopefully this is something that will glean a little light into your day. What I see here for March, and again, this is the Literary Tarot deck, so it's a little bit different. But either way, I haven't used it for a while, so I thought I would bring it out. So we do have the major arcana clarified by clarifiers, that kind of thing. This is not a major arcana, of course, King of Ink. But it does indicate that overall, March, your theme in terms of money and bills and whether there's extra money or any stressors or anything in terms of relationships that could be an issue, that's what we're kind of focusing on here. So March is really about kind of enduring through. So I would say there's not a lot in terms of standout cards. I definitely feel like there's just some minor arcana, so it's minor shifts, things just kind of going forward in a routine sort of way. It definitely does kind of speak to, correcting some things. There might be some delays, but there's still some stabilization energy here, that kind of thing. Nothing of a collapse or anything catastrophic, nothing of that sort. Everything actually looks pretty good. The King of Ink does represent some kind of authority over your emotion or your story or something that will have meaning for you. So it means that you're emotionally wiser than you feel. Like you're not losing control or emotional control. You're actually holding things together quite well. And it is emotional leadership. So it's not chaos. So again, it's a more of a grounded energy than your circumstances might otherwise suggest to you. Now we're into the 10 of Parchment. So this one is all about responsibility. It's the burden of material responsibility. This is where bills come in and commitments and long-term obligations, all of that come into play. So it is still feeling a bit weighted down by your survival mentality, still prevalent here. So it does confirm there's some stress. It's not imagined. It's still sort of carrying through a little bit into this month. And again, you're all on different timelines. Some of you may be you've got more associations or more support systems or whatever. You can work through the energy a little faster, but others may be still just in the throes of this. So again, the Three of Quills is all about problem solving. So it's planning, it's kind of triangulating, looking for solutions, comparing options, adjusting. It's a strategy energy, and I do feel like this is active thinking. It's not a panic, it's you're figuring things out. But very active mind energy in the month of March. And Eight of Parchment, this one is really all about, your commitment, your steady effort, your repetition, things that you do in, let's say, a job situation, for example. It's the routine. Even if it's boring, you just keep going. It's not hustle, it's more maintenance energy in March, just to keep things afloat or afloat. There we go. Now this one is the Five of Parchment. Fives are all about changing and shifting. It's a temporary financial strain, but it's not any kind of big fear. It just means that this is a card showing some stress. It's not failing to comply to your bills or making ends meet and that kind of thing. It's not any kind of ruin. It's just like a small shift and a little bit of stress around that is causing a bit of a financial overload, perhaps. Now, the Page of Parchment, this one is more along the lines of a seed in the water there. It's a new payment or a small income. It's an opportunity to learn or grow something practical. Again, this is real money. It's just modest. It's a very small denomination, but it is some kind of assistance there. When we get to the Seven of Parchment, that one is all about delays. So again, you're going to watch your efforts for things to turn around, but again, it's slowly turning into a payoff. So your patience is going to be required in March. I would say whatever you're doing is working. It's just not on your preferred timeline, that kind of thing. Now, the Five of Ink, this one is all about disappointment or emotional disappointment in some way. So it's not devastation. Again, you've got two fives here. So there is a little bit of mental pressure on you in some regard, but I feel like you're let down by something. And so you're just not feeling like things are working out quite the way you wanted it to. Might be that you're feeling a bit unseen here as well, and you're questioning if everything is kind of worth it. It's sort of that energy. It's not, again, it's just emotional fatigue. It's not any kind of failure or anything catastrophic. There's no big cards out here telling me big changes. It's just your emotional mindset at this time. Now, the card that was actually at the bottom, this one was more around the finances as well, the moon card. So again, there's a little ambiguity going on there. There's some hidden stuff going on yet. So you're still holding your ground. You're standing up, in the right direction here, persistence under pressure, that kind of energy. But I feel like you're still in the right direction. This is kind of quiet courage here. But the moon, especially with the Six of Quills and also the Four of Parchment, I mean, that's balancing out the energy here as well, although it does feel like you still have a worry about money. There's anxiety still here of what if. It's just not all the information is visible at this point yet, but I would still say there's assistance, there's balance, there's some kind of adjustment. Help is going to come through for you in this month in March. Either a bill is negotiated or something is delayed or something's reduced or something's offset, whatever that is. Something somehow evens out, and it's practical relief that actually comes through to help you out. You are still holding on to your resources here with that Four of Parchment. It's conservative spending. You're just being budget, aware of your budget, that kind of thing, protecting what you have. But you will manage what you have carefully, and it will, you'll be okay. So yes, there may be a small amount, but it's conditional kind of situation that's either negotiated or a small amount of money that's coming in. Really modest. It's not like an extraordinary amount, and it's not free-flowing money that really alleviates tension, but it does come from some kind of effort or adjustment or timing issue, rather than luck. So it's something about a money buffer of some sort. And it just helps you with the situation in terms of your bills. So I would say that, yes, you're getting your bills paid. There is stress around it, yes. There is pressure around that. Certainly family energy comes up here with that as well. Six of Quills does indicate that there is assistance or some kind of adjustment to a bill or something with financially, some kind of adjustment or negotiation. But again, Four here does indicate that this is you managing everything carefully. So I feel like overall, things get handled, but it's just not with super ease. You're not collapsing into anything. You're just tweaking, recalibrating things. So there's nothing catastrophic here. It's effort that's steady. It's tiring. It's, again, a little bit of emotional disappointment, but it's temporary. And it does feel like there is some kind of small financial help or income or, again, negotiation or something that buffers a bill or bills, something here that helps to hold the stability. But it is still requiring your discipline and your patience through this month. So it's like a bridge month, not really a payout month or anything like that. But overall, we can do April maybe for the next one too, but that's what I see for your overall picture. As far as I should maybe do what's happening in terms of relationships and connections. Let's just do that real quick here. So what is coming in terms of relationships or connections for Libra in the month of March? What does that look like? Eight of Quills, King of Quills, Queen of Ink, Two of Quills. Bottom of deck is Ten of Light. Below that is Empress and Judgment. Summary of all of these in terms of relationships. Okay, Eight of Quills, it does feel like there's something there that's still being kind of worked on. I mean, I do feel like that's pretty good energy, actually. A lot of this is really a lot of movement. I would say the relationship theme for things is really more not chaotic, but either a softer energy or even maybe romantic for some. But it's like it is about getting clarity, and there's some sense of recognition here as well. I want to say that it's not emotional drama. It feels like there's more communication or things are in motion. The Eight of Quills, like I said, is still that energy of messages or conversations. So it's a reconnection or a rapid exchange. Something is finally said out loud, things of that sort. So someone may be reaching out to you in this month as well, or a dialogue that kind of accelerates after a period of stagnation. especially when we see the King of Quills here. This is like there's a reconnection energy, a truth or a conversation. Something is mentally shifting around a new contact here as well. So there is movement, whatever this is. It's movement in a relationship. There is a lot of mental energy, but there's a lot of mature energy here as well. So there is some sense of communication with authority figures, possibly, but I do feel like someone speaks more clearly, and it's more of a logical conversation, very emotionally contained. It's not going to be any direct, um, overly warm situation. I just feel like it would be dealing with somebody who's maybe older, wiser, or takes on that energy of, very composed in the way that they communicate. So someone who knows what they think. There's no games, there's no emotional chaos here. This is really direct energy. And that's actually very compatible energy for Libra. So the Queen of Ink next to the Two of Quills. I feel like there is more emotional depth here, but it's restrained in some way. So it's not, again, oversharing. Even if there is a feeling of feeling deeply, it's still a lot of restraint around it. There's a lot of emotional intelligence, a lot of sensitivity, not embracing necessarily, but depth to this connection. So, but it's also about mind-heart balance. So there's something here that's not shallow. It's a calm, mutual, respectful connection. And however you're communicating with this person will also be in that same mentality, that same way. 10 of Light, 2 of Quills, previous to that is it's almost like there's a decision, or it's a bit of a stuck energy about how to proceed, but it's almost like there's a mutual awareness that's not being rushed into. So you both see this now, you both understand, and it's kind of coming to a position of what do we decide to do here? So I feel like there is a choosing that seems to deepen the connection, and it feels like you're both choosing clarity over this, ambiguous uncertainty in the connection. So you're choosing one direction instead of staying undecided. Both of you are kind of in that space, I would say. This one is the Empress. So there is something here. It could be around a mother figure, but it's also emotional fulfillment and alignment. So I feel like there's a lot more happiness, whether these small gestures or the small connection, that kind of thing, has opened that up for you. I'm not saying that there's any kind of warm embrace and everything is, even though this is a warmer card, it is more mutual energy, but it's feeling a little bit more seen and understood, as far as the potential outcome of that connection. So it's like, you feel more valued. You feel like there's more emotional safety, or you're being appreciated in some way. When we get to the card of Judgment, this is, again, I feel like you're more magnetic this month in terms of your charisma without even really trying, and there's also that energy of really starting to take care of yourself. But Judgment is that card where it's not really casual about relationships. It's really being clear on what you want from a relationship. The Judgment card is more about, it's not a chaotic energy. It's almost like an epiphany. I'm getting an understanding of, no drama, no confusion. It's not an intensity. It's more of a decision-making month, I would say, overall. There's no real emotional volatility that I see here. It's not mixed signals, anything like that. It's really clarifying what works, what's not working, and really making a decision to go forward in this period. So that's what I would say here. Because you've come to a decision in your mind at some point here, because this Judgment card does also speak to, you want someone who sees you clearly, and you're deciding whether or not to step forward. So it's, again, getting clear on what that means to you, but it is something more genuine energy, genuine emotional fulfillment, and it's really a recognition, but a clarity. These are the key words, I would say. And it's like you're looking for more of a respectful connection that really requires a conscious choice to make that kind of decision, weeding out the things that weren't working, because you want something that's emotionally respectful. That's what I see here. And again, you're making the decision, but it feels like everything is much more intentional this month around that connection. So hopefully that gave you guys a little bit of insight, and we'll do more with the tarot in the next read. But keep moving forward, never give up. It's not how good you are, it's how good you want to be. And Happy New Year.